I think it's a sad statistic. I don't know the exact numbers, but I remember listening to a podcast about this exact topic. I do think the struggle with work-life balance plays a really big role, where often men determine their value based on what they can bring in physically into their families. So, how far can I progress in my career? How much money can I make? What value can I bring through that lens? And you lose a lot of the important things in life when that's the only value, one of the very few values that you're focused on. And it's beautiful to prioritize your family and time with your family, but it's not enough. Both spouses need their own separate friendships and friendship circles for support that only a friend can give in the way that a spouse may not necessarily be able to give. I think for men, one of the struggles is not just time, but I do think that there's no vulnerability in the ways that maybe were a little bit easier to have in earlier generations, right? Like the idea of going deep and having deep conversations about your own, like sharing a struggle that you're going through, a struggle that there are very few men who think, you know what, I can call up this friend of mine and I can tell him about this, and he's going to be a good ear for this. He's going to give me some good insight. Very few men have that, but a lot of women do. And it is something so valuable. And the impact that it has on your psychological health is very obvious, but even the impact it has on your physical health, the way it reduces stress, the way it helps to prevent cardiac illness and things like that, like those kinds of friendships are so, so valuable. But we live in a time and a culture where that type of vulnerability is viewed as being weak. So what man is going to do that with his friends, even though men obviously struggle in a lot of the same ways that women do, they just don't have that outlet. And it's really unfortunate. Like we see the example of the Rasul ﷺ when he lost Ibrahim, his son, and he cried in front of his companions. And like it shows that manliness does not lie in not having emotions, but there's a give and take, and a lot of times it's very difficult for people to take that step and that willingness. The other thing is, women often bond through talking and having conversations. Men often bond through doing things together. So they need to have like activities. It's a lot less pressure. And so consistent activities where like once a month, this is like every third Friday of the month, we're going to get together and we're going to do something. We're going to go play pool. We're going to go, do this thing or whatever. But it requires planning and it requires time. And that makes it a little bit difficult.